Chaz, AJ, mornings.
Pat Fanaro with Home Remedies is here, and he'll answer any question you have about your mortgage, maybe getting out or whatever. Short sale, loan modification. Andy in New Britain.
Morning, guys. Great show.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, Pat, got a question for you here. 2007, my ex-wife bought a condo. We got divorced, 2005. 2007, she bought a condo. I moved back in with her. That's another whole segment you can do, and I'll tell you about it later.
Sounds good.
I want to hear about that.
You do a segment on it, I'll call it. But what she did, she bought the condo. She hasn't been working for a few years now, in between workers' comp. She got laid off. I retired from the state. She gets a part of my pension, which is no big deal. That's good for her because it helps her out. Is there any way that she can lower her rate because she's at 6 point something right now? Not counting my income.
I'm sorry, not counting your income?
Yeah.
Okay, well, basically she's had a loss of income, so she would, in theory, qualify for a loan modification. Who's her lender?
Cenlar, I think it's called.
Okay, I'm not familiar with them. They may just be a servicer for the actual investor who owns the loan. But has she called them and asked them if she would qualify for a loan modification?
Yeah, she did, but I think she went and told them that I was helping with the mortgage. See, I pay over beyond my half of the mortgage to help out to knock it down 2 payments. I pay at least 2, I think almost 3 payments a year extra.
Mm-hmm. Well, are you on the loan?
No, not at all.
Okay, and you're not on title either?
No.
Okay, so you're just helping out.
But is it a part of your divorce settlement?
No.
So you're just doing it?
That's why it's another segment, because the divorce wasn't really kind of like, we should never have gotten divorced. It's kind of like I did some things I shouldn't have done.
All right. But anyway, you're legally divorced, so she's single, and she wouldn't be lying if she wrote she's single. It's not part of any divorce settlement.
Right.
So it's not income she has to write down. You're doing it on a volunteer basis. I mean, it is kind of shady, but, Isn't it a little shady?
A little bit.
Yeah, but the facts are, she's had a loss of income.
Right.
So, regardless of whether you're helping or not, she's had a loss of income. She has someone who's willing to help her stem the tide in the meantime, but she can't rely on that. Tomorrow, you guys may have another fight, and you're not going to pay.
That's true. Yes.
So, I mean, she should definitely call the lender and ask if it's, possible for her to qualify for a loan modification. They're going to ask her for a lot of paperwork, and she'll submit it, and Chaz knows, and then...
it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get ready for it.
They make it so hard, so people just say, you know what, screw it.
I give up.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're not thinking this thing out, because you know what happens? They end up getting a piece of property back in the end.
Yeah.
Right.
And if they just help these people who want to pay work through a problem, and then, they don't have to deal with the property.
Right. I have a quick example. I had a house that we were actually trying to get a short sale done for, and we were able to get the bank $120,000 for the house, and they said, no, we want $125 on a short sale. And they said, no, the buyers...
An extra $5,000.
Right.
So.
And then the buyers walked. The bank ended up taking the house back. And this is no exaggeration. They ended up taking the house back and selling it for $65,000.
Right.
Oh, my God.
So does that make any sense?
They could have gotten
it's
120. They just wanted to squeak out $5 more grand.
Right. Right. And that's how we got into this mess. I mean, some of these decisions these lenders make, and I'm sure maybe on their end it makes sense, but to me it's just absurd.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for the call, Andy. George in Guilford, what's your question?
Hey, how you doing, Pat, by the way? Thank you. Nice to meet you. I modified my mortgage recently within the past 3 to 4 months. The only way I was able to do it was to go into foreclosure for a complete year.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it's horrible, horrible. They kept telling me I was ineligible, and then finally they said, hey, if you can make this work, and they gave me a number that was a very high number, for an amount of money, pay this, and we'll modify your mortgage. So I gave them a huge chunk of money, caught up with 1 year's worth of payments on top of paying penalties. Now my payments cut in half. I went from a $1,400 mortgage to a $750 mortgage. The major problem I'm having, though, is there's a gigantic balloon payment coming up in 35 years. Should I just go into foreclosure 30 years from now?
No, you sell it.
Run.
When the market peaks out, sell it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem. The last assessment was like 120. We bought in at 150. We owe 180. It'll never ever be worth 180.
Yeah, that's
it's a condominium.
into condominium, and that's even more challenging. That's tough. That's tough. I mean, I can't recommend that you go into foreclosure, but I mean, either way, that's going to have to be paid.
They didn't modify his interest rate. They modified the structure of the payments. So
right.
It's paying the whole thing at the end.
It's like a shell game. They just kind of moved it around a little bit. It seems like it's a great idea now because your payments are lower, but you get this huge balloon at the end.
How's your fire insurance?
Well, and I don't mind because right now it's less than I would be paying for rent anywhere I would live. So at this point, I'm thinking, hey, I'm saving.
Right now, you're fine. Yeah. Well, you got some time to think about it. That's the good news.
Right. And
time is always on our side, isn't it?
Right.
Not usually.
And maybe the value of the condo will, over that period of time, maybe it will jump up to a number where it's going to make sense, so you can sell it and not have to come up with money. But right now, it's not a pretty picture. But you really are kind of stuck. You have to kind of stay there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate your time, Chaz. Good luck with your situation there.
Thanks, man. You too.
Eventually you'll be using that toilet paper to clean your backside because it's not worth anything else anyway. So you guys have a great one. Thanks for the advice.
All right. Well, I use the toilet paper to clean my backside anyway.
That was inspirational, wasn't
What
it?
do you use your toilet paper
What
for?
else do you use it for? I use it to blow my nose and for that. That's it.
Paper mache?
I think he was talking about the paperwork.
Gotcha.
Oh, gotcha. All right. So, Pat, thanks for coming. President Home Remedies, 203-498-9100. We will link up on our sites. Thanks, Pat.
Thanks for having me.
Chaz, AJ, mornings.